Wow, I'm Summer Stephan, San Diego County's district attorney, and I love nothing more than being introduced by Hannah and hearing Devin here. And that's why I'm here. San Diego County is the second largest county in the state of California. To put it in perspective, we have 3.3 million people, and I have the honor of serving as the top public safety official here. I've devoted 3 decades to the protection of kids and families, and I am seeing the absolute devastation and a pandemic that no one is talking about, and that's the pandemic that's happening to the health and safety of our kids. And I'm here today because it needs to come back to being a priority. We cannot keep talking as a civilization about kids being our future and then not giving them every chance that they deserve to have that future in a responsible manner. I'm going to share with you some statistics that keep me up at night. And I have written about those statistics. I've put the alarm out about those statistics, having started the Sex Crimes and Human Trafficking Division and being a national leader in child exploitation. I track these numbers carefully because they mean that our kids are healthy or not healthy. They're being harmed or not harmed. And these numbers, they just tell the story. For example, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has had a 90% uptick since schools have been closed, sports have been closed, school-based mental health and other things that support kids have been shut down, 90%. In 1 month, normally you'd get 1 million reports. There are 4 million reports of kids being harmed, kids missing. In San Diego County, we have a large focus on protecting kids. We have an Internet Crimes Against Children task force that has FBI, local, national, that are always scouring the internet to preserve and protect kids. The numbers there have also doubled and tripled in certain months. Just as an example, in December, we normally have 197 reports. We have 601 reports. In April, when the full shutdown went into effect, normally 287 reports. We have 854 reports, a triple and quadruple effect, and these numbers are stories of kids that are being exploited and harmed. Our human trafficking task force seen an increase in human trafficking, sex trafficking of young girls. Our gang unit is seeing a double number of homicides. We are the safest urban county in America because our teams and law enforcement and in combination with our community, our schools, are always fighting to keep our kids safe. But now with the shutdown of sports, shutdown of schools, shutdown of everything that kids can rely on, we are seeing gun violence, we're seeing kids die, we're seeing kids commit crimes, join gangs, and become involved in violent activity. This is all very alarming. And then when you look at the numbers from our Rady's Children's Hospital. This is our hospital that takes care of child abuse and of kids. And seeing that the suicide ideations for adolescents is skyrocketing, the depression is skyrocketing, the child abuse reports are skyrocketing. This is another pandemic that is going to last generations if we don't focus on this second pandemic, which is what is happening to our children. We know from study after study that adverse childhood experiences last a lifetime. Government's job is to do no harm. And while we cannot protect the harm of things that are happening, of the pandemic, we need to weigh that harm against the harm that is happening and that's being measured to our kids. And when you look at two credible reports from the CDC in January of this year that show that transmissions from schools and school-based activities are actually 37% lower than those from other transmissions in the community. And when you read the medical report from JAMA that also says and corroborates these facts, this needs to be a priority to come to the table and look at how we reduce this harm to our kids. We talk about educational equity. Well, I have news for you. The kids that don't have parents that can sit next to them, the kids whose parents have to work on the front lines, the kids who can't afford tutors, they are being lost. They are being lost in this generation. We cannot, in all honesty, talk about educational equity, racial justice, or any of these things when we are not paying attention to our kids. Thank you. Now I'm going to turn it back to Coach